Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Magic 2014. So, 2014? It's 2015, what am I on about? This is Magic 2015. So today's episode, I am going to be playing with a mono-red Goblin Rush deck, so I'm going to draw a new hand as I need at least a couple of lands to get started, so that's actually a pretty good one. So I've seen this deck running around quite a lot. It's a very rushy deck, very low mana curve, so we're looking at playing things such as Goblin Bushwhackers and Goblin Arsonists very early on, and then playing things like so basically this is just trying to get as many goblins down as possible and then just hitting his face as much as possible. So we're looking, one of the key cards in this deck is probably Quest for the Goblin Lord, as it does pump up all of your goblins by +2/0. So what have we got here then? So we've got Tome Scour. Target player puts top 5 cards of his or... Was that top 5? Target player puts top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. I'm considering making, like... I've seen, like, the term mill deck running around quite a bit, and I'm kind of interested in making one of them at some point. The fact that you can use things like Tome Scour, and then there's also the creature which... what's the word I'm looking for? The creature that... My brain is just totally gone now. So, the creature... Yeah, the landfall creature is like a crab or something like that. That whenever a land comes into play, you get to force your opponent to discard cards as well. So I was considering making something like a blue-black one of them, because black's got quite a lot of card discard mechanics in it as well. So it could be quite an interesting kind of like a mill card discard deck, something like that. But that might be for the future. Oh, I realise it's still my turn. Because I could have played the Goblin Bushwhacker, but there's no point playing that if I can't kick it. So might play that next turn and just swing in with quite a bit of face, do 6 damage right across the board, and we got another Tome Scour, so he's sending a lot of cards to his graveyard, which is interesting. So I'm wondering why he's doing that. I'm not entirely sure what his tactics is. He's playing blue, black, red though, so we're actually going to play the Gutter Snipe this turn, I think. Just because I can then start playing things like Coordinated Assault going forward, which would be quite nice, and then we're going to attack with both as well. Because the Gutter Snipe, when the Coordinated Assault is played, will deal 2 damage to his face, which is the nice thing. So next turn, what I'm probably looking to do is maybe play Goblin Bushwhacker and Coordinated Assault in one turn, so I can play that for 1 mana, kick it for 1 mana, and play the Coordinated Assault. I will do horrendous amounts of damage directly into face. So what's that then? So whenever Skymark Rock attacks, you may return target defending creature player... That, oh right, so yeah, that's fair enough. So we've got another Goblin Bushwhacker as well. So, or do I play the Rock Slide Elemental first, so that if he kills one of my creatures, it will get pumped up, which should be quite interesting. It's kind of tempting to, but I might do that next turn. Or do I do it this turn? I don't know. It's tempting to do it this turn and then not swing in and then do like a huge attack next turn, maybe. Yeah, let's do that this turn. So it does get first strike, which is quite cool. I will skip my attack this turn, and then I will probably do Goblin Bushwhacker with the Coordinated Assault next turn, which would be quite cool. And then I should be able to kill off his Skymark Rock. Wow, so he's got 4 different colours. This is an interesting matchup. I've not seen this kind of deck before, which is quite... Oh, so you got to return that to my hand. Fair enough. That was maybe a mistake playing that. Then I should have attacked last turn. So he's going to play an Elvish Visionary. Fair enough. So that's going to be very frustrating. I should have attacked last turn. So he might have then... What's with his Tome Scour? This is crazy. I wonder what he's up to. This makes me really concerned. The fact that he's got all these Tome Scours and he's tossing away all of his own creatures to the graveyard. So, ooh, do have Foundry Street Denizen as well, but what I think I'm going to do first is play the Goblin... So I might do that next turn, so I'm going to play the Goblin Bushwhacker. So I'm going to kick it. There we go. So that pumps up all my creatures, and we're going to continue. Save the instant until he maybe blocks one of my creatures. We're going to attack with all. See if he blocks. Gonna block. See what he does. So he's gonna block that one. Nope, he's not gonna block. He's gonna block that one. Gonna pause, gonna give you and you first strike. which pumps you up and pumps you up. It does give you both first strike, which is very nice. So I'll kill off his missionary without losing my own creature. Then we do a lot of wrecking damage into face, like so. Very nice. So providing he can't play too many more creatures, I've probably won, because I can play the Foundry Street Denizen and I can play the Goblin Bushwhacker next turn, which will allow me to wreck face quite nicely. So he's playing a Cultivate this turn. He's only got 2 more land open, so he's not likely to be able to play too many more creatures. So he's not playing anything. He's not attacking in. Interesting. What have we got here then? So when Goblin Shortcutter enters the battlefield, target creature can't block. That's not the most useful, so we're going to play the Foundry Street Denizen. We're going to play the Goblin Bushwhacker and kick it. So all of these get pumped up by +1. That gets pumped up by +1 more. They all get haste, so I get to attack him with every single one of my creatures. Attack with all, and that should be GG. Like I said, this deck is all about getting as many goblins down as possible, pumping them up with things like Goblin Bushwhacker, just swinging him for with lots of little creatures. He can't really do anything because he's not got a lot of creatures in this deck. So let me see what he's going to do. So he's going to block 1 creature. It's not the end of the world. And I'm just going to wreck face. Fantastic. There we go. So that is game number 1 to me. Okay guys, so here we are for game number 2 when waiting for the players finally drops away. There we go. So how are we doing here? So we've got a Shock, we've got a Goblin Arsonist, we've got a Goblin Shortcutter and a Gutter Snipe. So that's not too bad a hand. 1 more land would pretty much seal the deal for us here. So we've got some kind of white deck. So he's managed to get an Elite Vanguard down. So I'm guessing we're up against white weenies, which could be fairly terrifying. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. Can't. So we're going to play the Goblin Arsonist this turn. There we go. Marvellous. So I could block that and kill it off with my Goblin Arsonist, but at the moment I'd rather keep down as many... ooh, Hero of Elias. That is fairly terrifying. That might have to be shocked next turn. Just because I don't want that getting pumped up at all. So whenever it is... Aura spells cost 1 less to cast as well. So I'm going to skip blocking here. Take the 2 damage for now. And then kill off his with a shock. Thank God for that. Plenty of land as well. So, yeah, let's shock you. Creatures. Hero of Ios can't really keep that around. So this is probably going to be some kind of white weenie aura deck. So it's going to hit continue. Can swing him for 1 this turn. Like so. Want to save the Coordinated Assault until I've at least got my Gutter Snipe down to do the extra damage, which is always a nice thing. There we go. And then you hit continue. So next turn, Gutter Snipe will be going down. And then turn after that, we might be looking at things something like Goblin Shortcutter or something like that, and then blocking the Elite Vanguard from being able to... So he's swinging him for another 2. It's fair enough. I don't blame him. Is he mana screwed, or is he playing his mana in his second main phase? No, he's mana screwed. Fantastic. So this could be interesting. Ooh, a second Gutter Snipe. Even better. So I can get one of these down this turn, get one of these down next turn. So at the moment, I don't mind taking too much damage into face, which is quite cool. So double Gutter Snipe will allow me to do 4 damage to his face every time I play an instant or sorcery spell, which is very nice indeed. Because I'm now going to be out DPSing him as well with 3 damage. He's still not played a land. This is interesting. So he's swinging again with a 2-1. Fair enough. He's just going to try... I think he's just going to try and like do as much damage to me as possible before I do too much damage to him, I think. So that is... so I'm down to 14. Not the end of the world right now. Oh, Quest for the Goblin Lord, you beauty. You're coming down. So the more goblins I... So if I can manage to play 5 goblins from now until the end of the match, I will all my creatures, all my red creatures, I think, all creatures I control will gain +2/0. So the fact that all I'm going to be playing is goblins basically from now on. What's the word I'm looking for? That is going to get pumped up eventually. Krenko's command would be fantastic as I've got 2 Gutter Snipes, and it would put 2 quest counters on Quest for the Goblin Lord as well. So he's going to be getting to the point where he's going to be fairly terrified of what I might have in my hand. Especially he is totally mana screwed by the looks of things. All he's managed to play is Elite Vanguard and a hero of what's that? Iroas, not Ios, Iroas. And that is, he's only got 2 of them in the deck as well. It is and there you go, he's been replaced by the AI. So he obviously realised that he was totally mana screwed, couldn't do absolutely anything. So we're going to play the Goblin Shortcutter this turn. Block you. Goodbye. That's going to get pumped up. GG, non-land. Yep, thought as much. So he just got totally mana screwed there. We're going to hit continue. We're going to swing in with all my creatures here for 5. Yep, getting down to 10. There we go. Thank you. I really should turn off watch damage effects because I know somebody suggested it and I just like totally forgot to do it between this and whenever it was suggested. It's one of those things where I just probably should do it and have never got around to it. Wow, still no land for him. That must really suck. Oh no, he has actually found. No, he's managed to find Najani's Pride, mate. Fair enough. Oh, we've got another Goblin Arsonist as well. Fantastic. But we're going to play the Goblin Shortcutter here. I'm going to say like the Ajani's Pride mate can't block. Doesn't really matter at this point. Just going to all about getting the goblins down to get that pumped up, and we may as well play Goblin Arsonist as well. So that pumps up that again. Quest for the Goblin Lord. Hit continue. We're going to attack with all. And then if he decides to block with this one, I'm going to play the Coordinated Assault. I'm going to play it anyway, but... So we're going to play Coordinated Assault on you, and you. So they both get First Strike and get pumped up +1/+1, and they both activate their abilities. So that should be lethal. So 3, 4, yep, 6. Fantastic, there we go. So that's the, that's game. That should be game anyway once I finish stacking him. Okay guys, so we're here for game number 3. So this is looking pretty good. Got the Hall of Triumph and a Trumpet Blast. So one more land and I've got the perfect strategy down again. So start off with our usual Goblin Arsonist, nice 1 mana creature. Don't forget when it dies I can also do 1 damage to a player or creature, which is very nice indeed. So this can actually kill off a 2/2 all by itself, which is always a nice thing. So we're looking at some kind of blue-white at the moment, Azorus Guildgate. And we've also managed to find the Goblin Rabble Master. Don't really want to play Krenko's Command this turn at the moment. I'd rather use that to pump up my Gutter Snipe, which would be quite nice. So I'm basically looking for the 3rd land at the moment. As soon as I've got the 3rd land, I'm pretty much going to wreck face quite nicely. As I've got the Goblin Rabble Master, I've got the Gutter Snipe, I've got the Hall of Triumph, and I've got the Trumpet Blast, which are all 3 mana. Like I said, the curve on this is extremely low. Come on, land. Nope, that's a shock. So we're just going to continue, attacking again. So we're 3rd land and we're looking pretty high and pretty really, but I'm just waiting for it at the moment. There are like 20 lands in this deck, so lots of creatures, so we're kind of desperate for that 3rd land. As soon as we get it, we're all set, we're all good to go. But this is where I get like totally mana screwed and all I'll have is 2 land for the entire goddamn game. Thankfully, he's not done anything yet, which is quite nice. Come on, 3rd land. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Here, this is where the ball starts rolling. So we're going to get the Gutter Snipe down first. So any instants or sorceries that we play will do damage to my opponent's face as well, which is nice. And then we will probably look to play Krenko's Command next turn. Then maybe Hall of Triumph the turn after that. Then Goblin Rabble Master as well. This is all looking insane. I've got lots of damage to come over the next few turns for him. What's he played? He has played Brimaz. Oh, that's terrifying. And I can't get rid of it easily as well. So unless I get a second shot come up, that could be interesting to get rid of. Ooh, Foundry Street Denizen, very nice. So, do I play you first, or is there not really much point right now? I'm probably going to play Krenko's Command here. And then that'll do some damage to his face. There we go, and I get 2 more Goblins as well. So then next turn I think Hall of Triumph might be quite a good one. So, we're going to hit continue. Is there any point attacking in? Will I be able to finish him off? Depends what he blocks, really. If he blocks the Gutter Snipe, I can finish him off using the Shock. Just wondering what's the best way to take him on here. So that'll do 2 damage to him, and that'll do 1 damage to him. Whenever Brimaz blocks a creature, put a 1/1 white cat soldier to creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield, blocking that creature. So let's just skip my attack for now. There we go. So whenever Brimaz, King of Orexos, attacks, put a 1/1 white cat soldier creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield, attacking. So he's going to attack. So then I can declare blockers, and then I should be able to kill him off now, because I can block with the Goblin Arsonist. So block with that. I'm also going to shock him as well. Creatures you. Please don't say he's got a counter. Target creature. Oh, you son of a bitch. I thought I'd add him there, but because I'm playing... Oh, that's really sucky. So at least I do get the activation from the Gutter Snipe before my spell fizzles. So I do take 1 damage, and then I can do creatures, you get rid of your 1/1 token. And that's got vigilance as well, which is really frustrating. Wow, he's got a lot of land really quickly, I just realised. So what's he also going to play? He's also going to play a Skymark Rock. So basically, whenever this thing attacks, it can do damage to me. I can play my Goblin Shortcutter this turn though, and I can block him stop him being able to block I can stop him being able to block using Brimaz. Is there much point doing that at the moment though? Oh, I'm going to play Hall of Triumph, because at least that'll give me a lot of blockers to block his 1/1 cat tokens. On red, obviously, so I can pump up all my creatures. I'm going to skip my attack. There's no point swinging it just yet. I do have things like, other goblin creatures you control attack each turn if able. It's fair enough. So it does pump up my, does it pump up my creatures? No, they just have to, attack, which is, I don't want to attack with that quite yet until I can play, Trumpet Blast as well, really. So he's going to attack him with both of these creatures. So he's going to basically murder my Krenko's command, which is one of my Krenko's command, which is slightly annoying. So I'm going to block you. And he's probably got more shenanigans to come as well, as this is like blue-white, so I think he might have a good deck against this Goblin one. Oh, that's really annoying, that Brimaz. That is a really good card, and I really hate the fact he managed to give it protection from a certain colour. So he's also going to play Standing Troops, so 1/4 with Vigilance. Slightly annoying. So we've also got another Goblin Arsonist here. I'm tempted to say that one can't block, and then I won't be able to Trumpet Blast though, which is really annoying. He's got... that Brimaz is like perfect against his deck, because it's got Vigilance, it summons a creature as well. Oh, that is really frustrating. Just trying to think what's the best way to play this. Trying to think here. I could swing and then play Trumpet Blast and see if he blocks with his Brimaz. That would be quite interesting. So I would give my creatures +2/0 as well. So I think that's going to be the only way I'm going to be able to take that out. So if we attack with all, attack, see if he blocks, and then play Trumpet Blast. So he's going to block with the 1/4. Nothing else, fair enough. Okay, so I do a little bit of damage there. And what else do I want to play? I'm going to play the Foundry Street Denizen, and I'm going to play the Goblin Arsonist as well, I think. What's he got? Nope, he's going to let that go through. There we go. I would get pumped up, but it's not really much use there. So basically my tactic now is to just try and push through as much damage as possible as quickly as possible. So he's going to swing with everything. I can double block that, which is interesting why I decided to... So he's going to... Oh no, I can't double block it because he's going to return my Foundry Street Denizen back to my hand, which is annoying. So I'm going to block the 1/1 as I can actually kill it off. So he will do some damage to my face, quite a bit actually, which is slightly annoying, thanks to the ridiculous Brimaz. And that's got vigilance as well, hasn't it? Jesus Christ. So I'm thinking of Goblin shortcutting that and then just trumpet blasting. How much damage would that do? That would do 5. No, it wouldn't. It would do 4, 8. That's not quite enough, unfortunately. Because he'll block. He'll be able to block with the standing troops. Unless I force him to block with the Brimaz, which would actually work quite well for me, actually. No, I can't play both, because I've only got 4 mana, haven't I? Jesus Christ. This is annoying. I was trying to think of what to do. 3, 5, 7... I mean, I could force him not to be able to block with that, and then I would push through 5, 7 damage. I just haven't quite got enough, so I could force him to... I could just play Trumpet Blast, and then I would do... I might have to force him to block with both, I suppose, because then he's obviously going to lose. Yeah, let's play Trumpet Blast before I swing in. So I will force him to block with at least 2 of his creatures, I believe. What'd that do? Oh, bollocks. That was the wrong time to play it. Oh, that's the end of the game. I've screwed that up. Bollocks. I'm going to concede here because I know I can't win, basically, because I'm going to attack in with every single creature because I didn't realise that I didn't read that properly. That was one of my old tricks, and it's attacking creatures. And what have we got? Prevent all damage that we dealt yet. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, because I wouldn't be able to kill off his... so what was that? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control this turn. Alright, never mind then. So he had a way of stopping me anyway, even if I had played Trumpet Blast, so that is definitely game over. So I wouldn't have done any damage to his face, and he's just killed off my creatures. So I think that's the end of the game, as... can't really do much else, and I'm guessing he's just going to nullify that. Yep. Thank you, Blue, you frustrating piece of crap. So he can quite easily swing in with 6 damage now, so that is the end of this game. So that Brimaz proved extremely frustrating for me. So goodbye my second Krenko's command. So yeah, he had the bit. So even if I hadn't ballsed up there, he had a way of stopping me from actually killing him anyway, so my mistake was negated. Okay guys, as these games have gone quite quickly today, I thought that I would play one more match, so I'm actually going to keep this hand and I can get lots of goblins down nice and quickly with the Krenko's command. I've got 6 altogether, so what I'd really love right now is to top deck a quest for the Goblin Lord, as that would just be pure insanity. Playing another blue focused deck. Nope, not a quest for the Goblin Lord, unfortunately. So we're going to start getting Krenko's commands down. It'd be nice to have a top deck one next turn, as I could still essentially play all the creatures I wanted to play. Tactic will still pan out, as I've still got 5 goblins to summon. How lucky am I going to get? Not that lucky, unfortunately. So let's play another one. I'm going to keep playing Krenko's commands, get lots of goblins down. Start wrecking face. There we go. Got a shock to deal with any creatures that he might play. There we go. So deal 2 damage this turn. Don't think blue's got any mass removal. It might have mass bounce, I suppose, which would be quite devastating against all of these tokens, as obviously they wouldn't go back to my hand, they just die. So we've got a 1/3 death touch. Interesting. So at least I can kill that off with a shock and one of my Krenko's commands. Tell you what, I might actually tell it that it can't block this turn. Which would be quite... Or do I kill it off? I'm tempted to kill it off so I can play Goblin Shortcutter later. So we're just going to hit continue. Attack with all. See if he blocks. Is he going to block? I probably would if I was him. So I deal 3 damage, and then I shock it. Goodbye. And then we play another Krenko's Command. We get 5 goblins down. Which is insane. So he's playing a blue-black deck of some description. So what I'm thinking of running next week... Ooh, we've got a Tauran Sky Summoner. 2/2 creature. So what am I going to get? More land. Wow, I've actually been like totally mana flooded here, so which is slightly weird for this deck. Considering it's like two-thirds creatures and spells, and at least it can't block this turn, so I can swing in for 5 damage. So I think this one is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 2/2 blue Drake creature token onto the battlefield, which is quite insane. What I could really do right now is something like a Trumpet Blast or something like that, or one of my things which pumps up all of my creatures, and that would basically finish him off. What's he got there? And Time Warp, so target player takes 1 extra turn after this. Wow. Pretty good. So we can swing him for nothing? Okay, I can kill off his creature, which he's probably thinking. What's he going to play as well? A Denova Horror. So he's going to be able to take out one of my creatures. So choose a card to discard. Just toss a land, I don't really need it. Oh, and I have to discard... Turn target permanent to its owner's hand, then that player discards a card. Alright, fair enough. So I'm going to play Rock Slide Elemental this turn. With the aim that if he blocks any of these creatures, this will get pumped up with First Strike, which he'll be able to use to kill off his Denova Horror, which is always a good thing. So he's blocking that one, and that one, and that one. So we'll do 3 damage. It's good to throw my creatures, but that does get pumped up to a 4/4 with First Strike. Excellent, that's what I like to see. Another Denova Horror, so he's going to bounce back that one. That's typical. So, looks like blue is the bane of this deck, unfortunately. So I had to discard it as well. And he's basically now got the upper hand, as I couldn't get enough damage through quickly enough. Like I said, if I had Quest for the Goblin Lord or something like that, I might have been alright, but just couldn't pump through enough damage. So why has he kept the 4/4 back? That's interesting. So I take 4 damage into my face. I doubt I've got any way of winning this game now. No, especially I've just been mana flooded. Never mind. This is definitely game over, so I'm probably just going to concede here, as I don't think I can win this. Blue has been my bane. I swear to God, blue has been insane. It's just... these last 2 games, I just haven't drawn the right cards, such as... the first 2 games, this deck just curved out perfectly, worked fantastically. Last 2 games just hasn't worked out quite so well, so I think this is a concede, and we'll go and take a look at the deck. Okay guys, so a quick look at the deck to finish off. So we did see this in action, Quest for the Goblin Lord. So if you get 5 goblins on it, or your creatures get pumped up, we did see Coordinated Assault in action. So give 2 target creatures, +1/0 and First Strike until end of turn. We saw the Goblin Arsonist quite a lot, so a nice 1/1 creature that deals 1 damage to anything when it dies. Foundry Street Denizen, which gets pumped up whenever you summon another red creature under your control, which is quite cool as this deck is mono red. Goblin Bushwhacker, again another great card that we saw, so give all creatures, when it's kicked, all creatures get +1/0 and haste until end of turn. 4 shocks for removal. Goblin Bushwhacker stops a target creature blocking this turn. Krenko's Command, we did see that in play. Goblin Rabblemaster, we didn't really see this one used to full effect. All other goblins attack. This does get pumped up +1/0 for every other goblin attacking, and it does summon a 1/1 red goblin token for you every turn as well. 3 Gutter Snipes, great card all round, does damage to face whenever you play an instant or sorcery spell. I've got Rock Slide Elemental in this deck. I'm not entirely sure if it works or not, but it's quite nice when you've got lots of creatures which could possibly die and pump it up. I've got a Trumpet Blast for doing horrendous amounts of damage when used properly, so all attacking creatures get +2/0, and 2 Hall of Triumphs to pump up basically all the red creatures in my deck. So that's a quick look at the deck. Oh yeah, and there's 20 lands, like I said, so it's two-thirds spells, 1/3 land. So that's the deck, that's been some games, and that's going to be the end of the episode. As always guys, don't forget to comment and like if you've enjoyed the episode. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.